The warning came on a quiet Tuesday morning. Deep in the bowels of Earth Defense Command's underground facility, a young operator stared at his screen, his coffee cup frozen halfway to his mouth. The signal was unlike anything he had seen before. "Admiral, you need to see this," he called out, his voice steady despite his racing heart. Admiral James walked quickly to the monitoring station. At 60 years old, with gray hair and sharp blue eyes, he had spent his entire career preparing for this moment. He leaned over the operator's shoulder, studying the readings that flashed across the screen. "Multiple objects, sir," the operator explained. "They just appeared at the edge of Neptune's orbit. They're trying to use some kind of cloaking technology, but our quantum sensors are picking them up clear as day." A small smile crossed the Admiral's face. The aliens thought they were being sneaky, but humanity had been preparing for this moment for decades. Their defense grid, hidden throughout the solar system, had detected the visitors long before they thought possible. "Sound the silent alarm," Admiral James ordered. "Alert all bases, but keep this quiet. No need to panic the public yet." Across Earth, military bases hummed to life. Soldiers and pilots who had trained for years began their carefully planned procedures. In underground hangars, advanced fighters powered up. Hidden defense platforms throughout the solar system activated their tracking systems. The alien ships moved closer, their formation suggesting military precision. There were 15 vessels in total, ranging from small scouts to massive cruisers. They moved with confidence, clearly not expecting any resistance from what they probably saw as a primitive world. 6 hours after the initial detection, the first message arrived. "We are the diplomatic corps of the Galactic Empire." The transmission began, broadcasting on all frequencies. "We come with an invitation for Earth to join our glorious Federation of Worlds." In the United Earth Council chamber, representatives from all nations gathered to hear the message. The alien transmission continued, showing images of advanced worlds and magnificent cities. But Admiral James and the military leadership noticed what others might miss: the careful placement of Imperial warships in each scene, the subtle hints of military occupation. "Their ships are spreading out," General Mary reported, pointing to a tactical display. "They're positioning themselves for a potential strike, even while sending peaceful messages." President Thomas stood at the council podium, his face grave. "How ready are we?" "Project Guardian is at full capacity," Admiral James replied. "Dr. Allen reports all systems are green. Our quantum network is online, and Mars base is standing by. We can have fighters launched in under 3 minutes." The alien message concluded with their terms. Earth would need to disband its military forces, accept Imperial oversight, and grant resource extraction rights throughout the solar system. In exchange, they would receive protection and technological advancement. In orbit, hidden platforms tracked every move of the Imperial ships. The aliens remained unaware that their supposedly superior cloaking technology had already been compromised. Earth's quantum sensors, developed through decades of secret research, could see through their stealth systems as if they were transparent. Admiral James watched as more data poured in. Their quantum intercepts were already cracking the Empire's communications. Fragments of messages revealed their true intentions. Earth was to be another conquered world, its resources stripped, its people subjugated. "They expect us to roll over," he said quietly. "They think we're primitive, helpless, just another easy conquest for their empire." He turned to his staff. "Let's keep them thinking that. For now." Across the solar system, humanity's hidden strength lay in wait. Bases on Mars and Europa remained silent. Defense platforms stayed in standby mode. Earth's quantum shield technology remained powered down but ready. The Empire's ships drew closer, their crews confident in their superiority. They had conquered 1,000 worlds this way. Earth would be no different. But this time, they were wrong. As the sun set over Earth Defense Command, Admiral James looked at the tactical display one last time. Everything was in position. The Empire thought they were dealing with a primitive species that would quickly submit to their power. Instead, they were about to discover that humanity had teeth, very sharp ones. "Let them come," he whispered. "We're ready." The Imperial ambassador's ship descended through Earth's atmosphere like a massive silver arrow. Earth's defense systems tracked its every move, though the humans kept this fact hidden. The ship landed at the newly prepared diplomatic zone outside New York, its smooth hull gleaming in the morning sun. Lord Reed, the Empire's chief diplomat, emerged from the vessel. He was tall and thin, with pale blue skin and eyes that seemed to calculate everything they saw. 4 armed guards flanked him, their powered armor making them look more like machines than living beings. "Welcome to Earth," President Thomas said, standing at the bottom of the ship's ramp. His voice was friendly, but his eyes were hard as steel. The ambassador's smile didn't reach his eyes. "The Empire is pleased to begin this partnership." Inside the United Earth Council chamber, representatives from every nation watched as Lord Reed presented the Empire's terms. His holographic display filled the air with images of imperial worlds, each more spectacular than the last. "Think of the possibilities," Lord Reed said smoothly. "Your primitive nuclear power replaced with zero-point energy. Your limited space travel upgraded to faster-than-light capabilities. All this can be yours." "And the cost?" President Thomas asked quietly. The ambassador's smile widened. "Merely your complete cooperation. The Empire requires oversight of your military forces, which will be unnecessary once you're under our protection, of course. We'll need exclusive rights to resource extraction in your system. And naturally, all technological development must be approved by Imperial authorities." In the observation gallery, Admiral James and General Mary exchanged glances. Their quantum interceptors were picking up all sorts of interesting transmissions from the Imperial ship. "They're scanning everything," General Mary whispered, checking her secure tablet. "Looking for military installations, weapon systems, defense grids." "Let them look," Admiral James replied softly. "Our best stuff isn't where they're searching." The meeting continued as Lord Reed outlined more demands. Earth would need to accept imperial governors in all major cities. Population movements would require imperial approval. All space travel beyond lunar orbit would be restricted. Meanwhile, in her hidden laboratory deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Allen made a breakthrough. Her team had finally cracked the Empire's quantum encryption. Secret messages between the ambassador's ship and the Imperial fleet began pouring in. "My God," she breathed, reading the decoded transmissions. She immediately sent an urgent message to Admiral James. The Admiral's secure phone buzzed silently in his pocket. Reading Dr. Allen's message, his face remained carefully neutral, but his hand tightened on the armrest of his chair. The decoded messages revealed the Empire's true plans. Earth wasn't being invited to join anything. It was being set up for conquest. The diplomatic show was just their standard procedure before invasion. The Imperial fleet was already moving into attack positions in the Kuiper Belt, preparing for a military demonstration that would force Earth's immediate surrender. General Mary's team detected the fleet movements at the same time the decoded messages came through. Hundreds of warships, hidden behind stealth fields, were slowly surrounding the solar system. The Empire thought they were being clever, but Earth's quantum sensors saw it all. Lord Reed finished his presentation with a flourish. "The Empire awaits your answer," he said smoothly. "Though I should mention, all other civilizations we've contacted have found it beneficial to accept our generous offer quickly." President Thomas stood slowly. "This is quite a lot to consider," he said carefully. "We'll need time to discuss these terms." "Of course," Lord Reed replied. "You have 24 hours. His tone made it clear this wasn't a suggestion. After the ambassador returned to his ship, President Thomas called an emergency session of the Defense Council. In the secure underground chamber, Admiral James shared Dr. Allen's findings and General Mary's fleet detection data. "They're planning to attack no matter what we decide," the Admiral concluded. This diplomatic dance is just for show. President Thomas nodded grimly. Then we'll give them a show of our own. He turned to Dr. Allen's holographic image. Is Project Guardian ready? Yes, sir, she replied. They won't know what hit them. As night fell over Earth, two powers prepared for war. One was visible and arrogant, certain of its victory. The other was hidden and ready, prepared to show the galaxy that humanity would not go quietly into the night. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Allen stood in the control room of Project Guardian. Giant screens covered the walls, showing the positions of Imperial ships throughout the solar system. The Empire thought they were being sneaky. They didn't know that humans could see every move they made. Status report, Admiral James said as he walked into the room. The underground base hummed with activity as technicians prepared Earth's defenses. Project Guardian is ready, Dr. Allen replied, her fingers dancing over the control panel. All 30,000 satellites are in position. The quantum shield can be activated in under 60 seconds. The Admiral nodded, a slight smile on his face. For 20 years, Earth had launched what looked like regular communications satellites. The Empire's scans showed them as simple orbital junk. But each satellite was actually part of humanity's greatest defense system, a planetary shield that could stop any attack. What about Mars base? He asked. General Mary's hologram appeared in the room. Mars base is combat ready. Our underground hangars are prepared to launch 500 quantum-linked fighters. Europa base reports the same. For decades, while the world thought humans were just making small steps into space, they had actually been preparing for this moment. The public Mars bases were just for show. The real bases were hidden deep underground, filled with advanced weapons and ships. In her lab, Dr. Allen pulled up a new screen. Sir, look at this, she said, pointing to strange energy readings. Remember how we cracked their stealth technology? Well, I found something even better. The screen showed detailed scans of Imperial ships. Dr. Allen had discovered that their advanced technology all used the same type of energy, something the Empire called dark matter power. More importantly, she had found a way to detect and disrupt it. Their entire fleet runs on this energy, she explained. Their weapons, their shields, their engines, everything. And we can shut it all down. Admiral James looked at the data with wide eyes. This wasn't just a defense system anymore. This was a way to beat the Empire at their own game. Meanwhile, in orbit, the Imperial ships continued to gather. They had no idea that Earth's quantum sensors could see through their cloaking devices. They didn't know about the hidden bases on Mars and Europa. And they certainly didn't know about Project Guardian. Sir, a young operator called out. The Imperial ambassador is requesting to speak with the president. Their 24 hours are almost up. President Thomas joined them through a secure hologram. Time to show our hand, he asked. Almost, Admiral James replied. Dr. Allen, activate the quantum network. Across the solar system, hidden quantum transmitters came to life. These devices could send messages instantly across any distance, something the Empire thought was impossible for primitive humans to achieve. On screens throughout the command center, green lights began to flash. Each light represented a part of Earth's defense network. Project Guardian satellites, ready. Mars base fighters, ready. Europa base missile systems, ready. Quantum disruption field, ready. Planetary defense platforms, ready. All this time, Dr. Allen said softly, they thought we were just a simple civilization barely reaching for the stars. They never guessed we were preparing for them. Through the quantum network, they could see the Empire's fleet getting into attack positions. The Imperial ships were spreading out, ready to launch what they thought would be an overwhelming strike. They're so confident, General Mary observed through her hologram. They think this will be like all their other conquests. President Thomas straightened his shoulders. Let's show them why Earth is different. He turned to Admiral James. You have command of all Earth forces. Show them what humanity can do." As the Empire's deadline approached, Earth's defenders stood ready. In hidden bases across the solar system, pilots climbed into advanced fighters. Underground missile silos powered up. Project Guardian satellites waited silently in orbit. The Empire thought they were about to conquer another helpless world. Instead, they were about to learn a very important lesson. Never underestimate humans. The Imperial fleet struck at dawn. 500 warships dropped their stealth fields and opened fire on Earth's lunar bases. The Empire expected an easy victory. They were wrong. Project Guardian. Activate. Dr. Allen commanded from her control center. 30,000 satellites lit up around Earth. Energy beams connected them, forming a glowing web around the planet. The Imperial weapons, powerful enough to crack a moon, hit the quantum shield and stopped dead. In his flagship, the Imperial commander stared in shock. "Impossible. They're primitives." Admiral James's voice crackled through every Imperial communication channel. "This is Earth Defense Command. You were warned. Leave our solar system or face the consequences." The Empire responded with more firepower. They launched 10,000 missiles at once, expecting to overwhelm Earth's defenses. The quantum shield absorbed them all, growing stronger with each hit. "Now it's our turn," General Mary said from Mars base. "Launch fighters." Hidden doors opened on Mars and Europa. 500 Earth fighters shot into space, their quantum-linked engines letting them move faster than anything the Empire had seen before. Thanks to Dr. Allen's discoveries, these ships could track and target Imperial vessels through their stealth fields. "All fighters, engage," Admiral James ordered. The space around Earth erupted in battle. Imperial ships fired their weapons, but Earth's fighters were too quick. They darted between the larger ships, their quantum-powered weapons cutting through Imperial shields like they weren't even there. "How are they doing this?" the Imperial commander demanded as another of his ships exploded. "They shouldn't have this technology." In the command center, Dr. Allen monitored the quantum disruption field. "Sir," she called to Admiral James, "the field is ready. We can shut down their dark matter power systems." The Admiral nodded. "Do it." Dr. Allen pressed a button. A wave of invisible energy spread out from Earth's defense platforms. Across the battlefield, Imperial ships began to lose power. Their weapons stopped working. Their shields failed. Their engines sputtered and died. "This is impossible," Lord Reed shouted from his diplomatic vessel. "We are the Empire. We cannot be defeated by primitives." "You made a mistake," Admiral James replied calmly. "You thought because we didn't show our strength, we had none. You thought because we explored space slowly, we were weak. You were wrong." Earth's fighters struck hard and fast. They disabled ship after ship, careful not to destroy vessels that had already lost power. Humanity wanted to win, not massacre. "Sir," General Mary reported, "the Imperial fleet is in chaos. 80% of their ships are dead in space. The rest are trying to retreat." From his command center, Admiral James watched the battle unfold. The Empire had never lost a fight like this. In 10,000 years of conquest, no one had ever stood up to them so effectively. "All ships," he ordered, "disable their engines but let them live. Let them carry a message back to their empire." Earth's fighters swept through the remaining Imperial ships like a storm. One by one, the mighty vessels of the Empire went dark, floating helpless in space. The few ships that could still move turned and fled, jumping away faster than light. In the command center, humans cheered. Decades of preparation had paid off. Earth had just defeated the greatest military force in the galaxy. "Send a message to all Imperial ships," President Thomas ordered. "Tell them, Earth is not for conquest. We will defend our freedom." As the battle ended, Admiral James looked at the tactical display. Hundreds of Imperial ships floated powerless in space, their crews alive but defeated. Earth's fighters patrolled between them, quantum weapons still ready. "What do we do with them?" General Mary asked about the captured ships. "We show them mercy," President Thomas replied. "We show them that humanity is not like their empire. We'll help their crews and send them home, after they see what Earth is really like." The sun rose over Earth, its light reflecting off the quantum shield that still glowed faintly in orbit. The Empire had tried to conquer humanity. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, and today was just the beginning. News of Earth's victory spread through the galaxy like wildfire. On 1,000 worlds under Imperial control, enslaved species watched videos of Earth's fighters destroying the invincible Imperial fleet. Hope, forbidden for so long, began to grow. In Earth's command center, Admiral James reviewed messages from across the galaxy. They came through the quantum network, sent by resistance groups that had been fighting the Empire in secret for centuries. Another transmission. "Sir," a communications officer said. "This one's from the rock people of System X-227. They want our help." Dr. Allen walked into the room, carrying her tablet. "The captured Imperial ships have taught us so much," she said excitedly. "I found a way to share our shield technology with other worlds." President Thomas joined them via hologram. "How many resistance groups have contacted us now?" 15 major groups, General Mary reported from her station, representing over 300 occupied worlds. They all want the same thing: freedom from the Empire. On the main screen, they watched as another Imperial fleet was defeated, this time near a distant star system. Earth had shared its quantum disruption technology with the rock people, and they had used it perfectly. The Imperial ships floated powerless in space, just like they had around Earth. "The Empire is losing control," Admiral James said. "Their outer territories are breaking away. Their slaves are rising up. And it all started here." In her lab, Dr. Allen worked with scientists from different resistance groups. They had come to Earth in secret, learning how to build quantum shields and disruptors. Each group would take this knowledge back to their homeworld. "Your world gives us hope," said one alien scientist, his rocky skin glittering under the lab lights. "For 10,000 years, the Empire told us resistance was useless. You proved them wrong." Earth's quantum fighters now patrolled far beyond the solar system, helping resistance groups fight for freedom. General Mary led these missions herself, teaching other species how to defeat Imperial forces. 3 more systems have declared independence, she reported through the quantum network. The Empire tried to stop them, but our technology made their weapons useless. The Empire's running out of ships to lose. The Imperial response was fierce, but failed. They couldn't attack Earth directly anymore. Project Guardian was too strong. They couldn't stop their ships from being disabled by quantum disruptors. And every defeat made more of their subjects rebel. Message from the Resistance on planet B49. A communications officer called out. "They've taken control of their world." The Imperial forces surrendered when their power systems went dark. In the captured Imperial ships around Earth, the alien crews watched in amazement. They had been treated well, given food and medical care. Many of them began to question everything the Empire had taught them. "We were told humans were primitive savages," one Imperial officer said to Admiral James. "But you showed mercy when you could have destroyed us. You help others gain freedom when you could keep your power secret. Why?" "Because that's what humans do," the Admiral replied. "We protect the weak. We fight bullies. And we believe everyone deserves to be free." President Thomas called a meeting of Earth's Defense Council. The room's holographic displays showed the galaxy, with green lights marking freed worlds and red showing Imperial control. The green lights were spreading. 3 months ago, we fought for Earth's freedom, the President said. Now we're helping free the galaxy. Dr. Allen, what's the status of our technology sharing program? 20 resistance groups have working quantum shields now, she replied. 30 more are learning. The Empire can't stop it. Their weapons don't work against our technology. Admiral James looked at the galaxy map again. The empire that had ruled for 10,000 years was falling apart, all because one primitive world had refused to submit. The empire's grip is breaking, General Mary reported. And it all started because they thought Earth would be an easy conquest. The meeting ended with new messages arriving. More calls for help, more worlds seeking freedom. Earth would answer them all. The age of the empire was ending, and a new age of freedom was beginning. The imperial emperor was angry. His mighty empire, which had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years, was falling apart because of one small planet. In his throne room on the imperial capital world, he made a terrible decision. Launch the planet killer, he commanded. Show the galaxy what happens to those who defy us. On Earth, the quantum detection grid picked up something massive moving through space. Dr. Allen rushed into the command center, her face pale with worry. "Admiral, they're bringing their ultimate weapon," she said, pointing to the readings. "It's bigger than anything we've seen before." Admiral James studied the data. The planet killer was a moon-sized weapon that could destroy entire worlds. The Empire had only used it twice in their history. Both times, the target planets had been completely destroyed. "How long until it reaches Earth?" President Thomas asked through his hologram. 6 hours, General Mary reported from her fighter squadron near Mars. "But sir, there's something else. The Empire is broadcasting the attack to every world in the galaxy. They want everyone to watch." In the command center, Dr. Allen worked frantically at her computer. "The planet killer uses more dark matter power than 1,000 normal ships," she explained. "Our regular disruptors might not be strong enough to stop it. Then we'll use everything we have." Admiral James decided. He opened a channel to all Earth forces. "This is it, people. The Empire's last desperate move. Let's show them what humanity does in the face of extinction." The planet killer emerged from light speed at the edge of the solar system. It was enormous, its black surface covered in weapon ports. A beam of energy started building at its front, growing brighter and brighter. "Project Guardian to full power," Dr. Allen shouted. The quantum shield around Earth glowed brighter than ever before. All 30,000 satellites poured their energy into it. On the ground, cities powered down to direct more power to the shield. The planet killer fired. A beam of pure destruction, powered by dark matter energy, struck Earth's shield. The quantum barrier flared brilliant white. In the command center, warning alarms screamed as the shield absorbed more power than it was ever designed to handle. "Shield holding at 60%. Dr. Allen reported. "But we can't take another hit like that." Admiral James smiled. "We won't have to. General Mary, you have a go." From their hidden bases across the solar system, Earth's forces struck back. 1,000 quantum fighters launched, led by General Mary. They carried Dr. Allen's newest invention, super-powered quantum disruptors. "Hit them with everything," General Mary ordered. The fighters swarmed around the planet killer like angry bees. Their quantum weapons pierced its shields, just like they had done to other Imperial ships. But the planet killer's dark matter core was too powerful to be completely shut down. "Keep hitting it," Admiral James ordered. "Dr. Allen, ready the main disruptor." In orbit around Earth, a massive satellite turned toward the planet killer. It was humanity's greatest quantum disruptor, built in secret for just this moment. The planet killer prepared to fire again. Its energy beam began building up, even stronger than before. "Now," Admiral James commanded. Dr. Allen activated the main disruptor. A wave of quantum energy shot out from Earth, focused by all 30,000 satellites of Project Guardian. It hit the planet killer just as it tried to fire. The result was spectacular. The planet killer's dark matter core overloaded. Energy sparked across its surface. Its weapons went dark. The mighty superweapon, pride of the Empire, drifted powerless in space. "All fighters, clear the area," General Mary ordered. The planet killer's core was breaking down. Light poured from cracks in its surface. Then, in a flash brighter than a sun, it exploded. The Empire's ultimate weapon destroyed itself. Across the galaxy, on every world where the Empire had forced people to watch, cheers erupted. The unbeatable planet killer was beaten. Earth had done the impossible again. In the command center, Admiral James opened a channel to the Imperial capital. "Your planet killer is gone," he said calmly. "Your fleet is in ruins. Your empire is falling. Surrender or face the consequences." The Empire had played its last card, and Earth had won again. 1 month after the destruction of the planet killer, representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered on Earth. They met in a massive new building called the Freedom Hall, built specially for this historic moment. The age of the Empire was ending. A new age was about to begin. Admiral James stood at the main entrance, watching alien diplomats arrive from across the galaxy. Some looked like humans, others were completely different. Rock people, energy beings, and creatures made of living crystal. All had come to help build a better future. "Hard to believe it all started with them, trying to conquer us," Dr. Allen said, standing beside him. She had spent the last month teaching other worlds how to build quantum shields and disruptors. The Empire's last holdouts surrendered this morning, General Mary reported as she joined them. "Their capital world asked for peace talks after we disabled their last fleet." Inside the Great Hall, President Thomas took the stage. Thousands of representatives from freed worlds watched, while quantum transmitters carried his words to every planet in the galaxy. 6 months ago, Earth stood alone against the Empire, he began. "Today, we stand together with all of you. The Empire thought they could crush us. Instead, they united us." On screens around the hall, images showed the changes spreading across the galaxy. Imperial patrol ships being replaced by Earth's quantum fighters. Slave camps being torn down. Former Imperial soldiers helping rebuild worlds they once oppressed. Dr. Allen teaching alien scientists how to build defensive shields. General Mary training space pilots from 100 different species. "We propose a new alliance," President Thomas continued. "Not an empire built on fear, but a partnership built on freedom. Each world will govern itself. We will trade, share knowledge, and help each other grow. And if anyone tries to conquer peaceful worlds again, we will stand together to stop them." The hall erupted in cheers. The former Imperial capital had already agreed to these terms. Without their fleet or planet killer, they had no choice. But more importantly, many of their own people had supported the change after seeing Earth's mercy and strength. Admiral James stepped onto the stage. "Earth will share its defensive technology with all member worlds," he announced. "No one should live in fear of conquest. Our quantum shields and disruptors will protect every planet that wants peace." Dr. Allen presented the next part of the plan. "We've created a network of quantum communication satellites," she explained. "Every world can now talk and trade instantly across any distance. Knowledge will flow freely." General Mary revealed the new defense agreement. Earth's fighters will patrol trade routes and help any world in need. We'll train pilots from every planet who wants to join us. Together, we'll keep the galaxy safe. In orbit above Earth, the quantum shield glowed softly. But now it wasn't alone. Similar shields protected hundreds of other worlds. The Empire's dream of easy conquest had led to every planet having the power to defend itself. The Empire ruled through fear for 10,000 years, President Thomas said near the end of his speech. "They thought fear made them strong, but we proved that freedom and cooperation make us stronger." The gathered representatives stood and cheered. Many had tears in their eyes, or whatever their species had instead of tears. For the first time in 10,000 years, they were truly free. After the ceremony, Admiral James looked at the night sky. New quantum shields glowed around friendly worlds, visible from Earth as tiny stars. Traders and travelers moved safely between systems, protected by joint patrols. "What do you think the Empire's leaders would say if they could see this?" Dr. Allen asked, joining him. "They'd probably still call us primitives," he replied with a smile. "They never understood that true strength comes from working together, not forcing others to obey. The sun rose over Earth the next day, dawning on a very different galaxy. The empire that had ruled for 10,000 years was gone. In its place stood an alliance of free worlds, ready to face the future together. And it all started because they thought Earth would be an easy conquest. They couldn't have been more wrong.